Hi, I'm Joni Patry, and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'd like to talk about the month of May and what is here to happen. So in the month of May, we have some pretty amazing events happening. Well, first of all, we have some planets that are going direct. So in the month of April, when we had so many retrograde planets, now we have the ability to start moving forward. And Mercury moving direct is probably one of the most significant aspects that we have to look forward to, which Mercury will turn direct on May 3rd at 0 degrees of Aries. And it is within a degree of transiting Uranus. So when we bring together these two energies of Uranus, which is sudden, unexpected events, with Mercury being travel plans, being communications, being how we connect with each other, you're going to find some amazing reversals everywhere. In your life and world events, you'll see how things will just happen and be full of surprises. So Aries is the sign of new beginnings. So this can represent also the forward movement in technology and new discoveries. So probably some of those things that seem futuristic in the past will become reality now, such as the self-driving cars. I know that these have been created and invented, but now I think they're going to start coming into action. Robots, things of technological deep study. These are things that are going to be discovered and brought out, things that we probably don't even know about so far. So this is going to be a surprising month. And also, because Uranus can rule machinery, be careful around that time that they come together. So Mercury will come together with Uranus. I know it will go direct on May 3rd, but they will come together, let's see here, on May 9th through the 8th. So those are the days that you have to be careful around machinery and just lay low on that day, because I think this is going to be sudden, unpredictable events. So Venus turned retrograde in April, and Venus in its retrograde process brought out many things concerning relationships of the past, memories, just being good memories. But with this process of Mercury in Aries going direct and Venus, which was retrograde, they were retrograde at the same time. This brought out many things that you needed to see within yourself from the past concerning relationships. And this brought the opportunity for a healing. Now, I must admit, some of these things or feelings and emotions that were brought out were things that possibly were kind of pushed aside, pushed under the carpet, and hopefully forgotten. But this retrograde process of Venus and Mercury, Venus in Pisces, which is the last sign of the zodiac, the past, and Mercury in Aries, the sign of new beginnings in the future, this brought back the past that needed to be healed before we could make progress in the future. So I know that many things that maybe you denied or you thought that you healed and you were over surfaced because they were not complete, the lessons. And this was a huge opportunity for healing right now during this time, and I know it is not easy, very emotional and pressing issues to be healed, but the opportunity is there. Now, I want you to know that Saturn and Jupiter during this time, they are retrograde. And Saturn and Jupiter are the planets that deal with the social climate, and they can deal with the economy. So there are some things that are not moving forward, actually moving backwards, concerning the economics and progress and plans for the future around the world with the economy. So these things are being worked out. These things are at the planning stage, and there is not progress happening at this time, but it's being worked on. So another thing that is vitally important that's happening this month is that Mars and the Sun are now traveling together in the same sign, and they will travel together for the next 4 months. This is a part of the cycle of Mars. Mars goes through the entire zodiac every 2 years. But in that cycle, this 2-year process, there is a point in its orbit, a point in its cycle where it comes together with the Sun, and they gain in degrees and finally come to a conjunction. In this process that they travel in the same sign together will be 4 months out of the 2-year cycle. So looking at this, Mars this month will be with the Sun in the sign of Taurus. And this is really important, but by the time that they come together in their exact conjunction, it will be July 26th. They will come together at about 9 degrees of Cancer. And so this is building towards this conjunction where they come together. And this is usually a conjunction that involves some type of anger or violence. As a matter of fact, the day of the Boston Marathon bombing, go look, Mars was exactly conjunct the Sun on that day in Aries. But now they're teaming up together and they will collide together in the sign of Cancer, which Cancer is all about security. And I get that between now in May till July, there is a building of fear dealing with security, and major means and progress will be put into action between now and this July date. And sincerely, it must be, because this is a time when things become more violent. And so this is probably around protection and security of our homeland in terms of protection from terrorism. So right now, as we speak, Mars is transiting over some very sensitive degrees while it's in Taurus, because we have some fixed stars here. So it will be on May 5th and 6th that Mars will be transiting over 15 to 16 degrees of Taurus, which is conjunct the fixed star Aldebaran. And Aldebaran is exactly opposed the fixed star Antares. And these two stars represent strategic plans and motions, and they can indicate big events, difficult events. So they are involving plans and strategies to prevent terrorism. But the French elections are happening at this time, and this means that they will not go as planned. Something will be a shakeup with this transit of Mars right on Aldebaran. The French elections are May 7th. It will conjoin Aldebaran May 5th and 6th. And things will not go smoothly. And there will be events that change the direction of our sense of security beginning around this time. Saturn this month is retrograding into the Gandanta degrees, which are early fire, late water. So Saturn is going back to the early degrees of Sagittarius, around 0 degrees, 1 to 0 degrees. And then it will go back into the last degrees of Scorpio, 29, 28, which are Gandanta. Gandanta literally means drowning. So there's going to be many floods, there's going to be lots of rain, storms, and Gandanta being in the sign of Scorpio. Scorpio is, you know, it's the tail of the scorpion. Deals with the stinger, deals with poisons. So there can be the advent of poisons in terms of harming others. And it could be in the water, but as we see, there has been poisons, as in poisons in nuclear warfare and things of that nature, such as what has been used in Syria these days. So there could be the likelihood of more of this to come about. Rahu, the whole month of May, will be, and actually will be all the way till the next solar eclipse, which is a total solar eclipse that is here to happen on August 21st. Rahu now is at 4 degrees of Leo. And I use the true node. This is exactly where the nodes are. Around times when we come close to eclipses, the nodes stand still. And this is important because they're making a reference point. And they are standing still at 4 degrees of Leo, which is important. Conjunct President Trump's Mars. And I must say, this is conjunct the fixed star Regulus. So there are explosive events that are bound to occur between now and the solar eclipse. And things are going to start being introduced that are about to happen with this solar eclipse. So in other words, we will start to be introduced with what this is all about. So then I'm looking at transiting Jupiter. Now here's the good news. Transiting Jupiter is aspecting. It is trining the Sun and Mars. Remember, Sun is traveling with Mars. And they are in Taurus. While transiting Jupiter is in Virgo, it's casting a beautiful trine to the Sun, Mars, and it is opposing Venus. So what you're going to see is that Jupiter aspect to Venus, Venus being in Pisces, Jupiter ruled sign, so it's shedding its light to Venus, and it's trining the Sun and Mars. This is a time when a lot of creative endeavors will come out, artistic pursuits, and movies. Anything to do with beauty will be accentuated during this time. So it's time to go out and enjoy nature, enjoy the parks, enjoy the flowers. They will be in full bloom. And all forms of creative pursuits will be activated during this time. So Jupiter, being in the sign of Virgo. I love this because Virgo is all about health, healing, disease, and Jupiter will station in June, but it is stationing the end of May, standing still at the degree of 19 degrees of Virgo. Now, if you have a planet in your individual chart that is at 19 degrees of Virgo, get ready. You are in for some luck. Some very exciting things will be happening for you in accordance to what house that this planet is occupying. So whatever house your planet is at 19 degrees, remember I'm using the sidereal Vedic zodiac, not Western astrology, sidereal. And if you want to find out if you have a planet at that degree, you can go to my website and go to the free chart calculator, which is galacticcenter.org. If you have a planet that's 19 degrees of Virgo, something amazing will happen because Jupiter is stationing on that degree. And it brings opportunities, it brings luck. And always note these stationing degrees, because when a planet is stationed, it is 100 times more powerful. And Jupiter is the great benefic, bestowing gifts upon the planets. So the end of May through the month of June will be a lucky time if you have this degree prominent. And let's see, Jupiter will actually turn direct. Jupiter turns direct in June. So it's going to be around the first week of June that Jupiter will turn direct, and this will be June 9th, okay? June 9th, but remember, it will stand still. Last 2 weeks of May, entire month of June. So another thing is, because Jupiter is going to be aspecting Venus, and Venus is still, the whole month of May is still going to be in Pisces. In the last degrees of Pisces, this portion of the zodiac is ruled by the nakshatra, is in Revati, the nakshatra Revati. And Revati is ruled by the god Pushan. Pushan is the god of safe, protected travels. So I want to say that throughout the month of June, it is a time for traveling. You will be protected. Good things will happen. It's beautiful. The weather, except for the Gandanta degrees, which will actually pertain more to the summer months when Saturn goes into the last degrees of Scorpio. But this is a month I say travel. Get out, do things, be a part of nature, be creative. This is a beautiful month. And many things are transpiring and happening and building towards what will be happening in the summer. But I want to leave you with that this is a month of major trends, ups and downs, and events that are leading to a healing of our planet Earth. But this should be a beautiful month to enjoy. So with that, I'd like to close. And if you would like more information on me or possibly have a reading, you can always go to my website, which is galacticcenter.org. And if you're interested in learning Vedic astrology, I have a university, University of Vedic Astrology.com. And always there'll be transcripts of these YouTube videos in my magazine, which is astrologicmagazine.com. Thank you.